How do you compare and contrast a family-owned business compared to a non-family-owned business?
Well, clearly, if you are going to fire your son-in-law, you may never see the grandchildren again. That is one of the problems. And that is why it is so important, and I really want to emphasize this, it is critically important in a family business that you make sure whoever comes into the business is competent and is motivated and has a passion for the business. Because once they're in the business, firing the family member, it can be done, and it is done, but not without repercussions in terms of family relationships. So I want to make sure that the people coming in are qualified in the front. And then we don't have to worry about the problem of firing them when they're not doing their jobs.
The other day you were also mentioning the differences between, the family, you're born into it, and the family in the business you're hired into it. Could you elaborate on some of those differences?
Yeah. One of the challenges in families and in family businesses is that there's a real different set of values. Because if you look at the values that drive a family, you're born into a family. And you're a part of that family whether you want to be or not. You try to disassociate yourself from the family, and the family is going to spend a lot of time and energy trying to figure out why you chose not to be part of the family. But businesses you're hired into. Families are about relationships. What's important in a family activity, when you come together for Thanksgiving and you leave and say, oh my, wasn't that a great evening? It was a great evening. Well, you hope the food was good, but it was really probably a great evening because you had some very meaningful dialogue with your family members. So relationships are critical. Now, on the business side, if your sales manager was out on the road for a week and came back and said, I had wonderful relationships with our clients. We had great dinners, we had interesting conversations, I really felt we bonded, but I didn't close any sales. That is not an appropriate value because businesses want results. So we have a conflict of values there. Families are very inwardly driven. They want the family to remain intact, and they're really concerned about what's going on internally. Businesses are externally driven. Families like unity. Businesses thrive on competition. Families don't like to take risks. That's why, when you bring in in-laws, that's a big risk in the family. That shakes up the family dynamics. But a business that is not a risk taker is a business that's going to be in the past. So you have some very important values that are different from the family than the business. And so in family businesses, we have to look at how we are making those mesh.